How challenging is it when you don't exactly know what your personnel can do? You're just watching everybody, you talk to all your coaches about them, but you still don't have that personal knowledge base when you're going into installs.
Sure, there's goods and bads, to that, and so some of it's you don't exactly know what's offensively is going to fit those guys. You think you do, but then that's what spring ball's for, as well. But then on the other side of things too, it's like there's some positives to it too, because now I don't have the biased or the jaded opinion on guys, so they can go out and play free and hopefully play fast and confident and show what they've got, and then I can build those. I guess those thoughts on certain guys depending on how they do in practice. So really, it ultimately goes back to those guys and how they perform in practice.
I heard that you were walking through players understanding what the defense is doing on any given release or route in order to get a better sense of how to act within a route. How much of that is important in just their understanding of the position and the whole offense?
Yeah, that's a big part of everything, as far as each play has its own dynamic and details, whether it's receivers, understanding zone or man and, working a release, or O-line with different fronts, 4 down, 3 down, how, tilt nose, things like that. Different elements of how the defense is going to play and how you're going to have to react, and your technique may have to change because of the way the defense is playing you. And then we're trying to take it a step back, from a big picture perspective of here's what we're calling, the terminology factor. So we're on the same page as coaches. What we're saying to them relates, and so they're getting used to the terminology that we're going to use. So whether it's coverage specific stuff, or whether it's pressure specific stuff, or front specific things, we're all speaking the same language, and that's really step one. Then we can build off of that.
And so, how many of your groupings will you try to install? This spring, out of a percentage of your overall offensive capability, how much do you think will be going in right now?
I would say a good chunk of it is, and we're going to try to press that as coaches to see what we can put on them, see how much we can challenge them, especially early on with the different formations and personnel groups, and then be able to evaluate. And that's kind of the nice thing about the way our spring ball's set up. You've got 7 practices, you got spring break, and now that spring break time you can use to evaluate, analyze, all right, what do we really want to hit in this second half of spring ball? But again, we still have pieces that aren't here yet. And so from a personnel standpoint and some of the heavier sets and some of those things, we're going to have to hold off on a few of those.
You have 2 tight ends. Yeah.
Yep.
And fullback was a big position that you guys utilized in Boise. What do you think initially about Case action, just about the way that kind of looks shaping up here?
Yeah, Case is one of those players that has done a phenomenal job earning himself a scholarship, and then he's a physical, athletic kid. He's got that demeanor to him, like he's going to work harder than everybody else. He's going to be that guy that does the right things. He's going to challenge himself to work and work against all those guys in practice, and he's a piece that you can utilize. We really didn't have the true fullback at Boise State. It was always tight ends and moving around, stuff like that. So that'll be a little bit different piece, having that personnel and utilizing a true fullback.
Having an H-back alignment and all that stuff.
He's working on all of it right now. So he's got a big plate right now that he's looking at all this stuff and being fullback. Movement type tight end, he's even working as an inline tight end at times, just because he's challenging himself to learn it all, and then whatever he fits into, it benefits him.
Those tend to be the positions where they have the most that they have to learn as far as the number of alignments and releases and all that stuff. It seems like tight ends can be swimming in the information.
Tight ends is a difficult position. You got the run game, so you got to ID fronts and know the run blocking. You're going to be in protection at times with either play action or our 6-man protection with the tight end, and then obviously involved in the pass game too. So there's a lot of elements. The nice thing is with our staff, we've got guys in place that are very good in the pass game or very good in the run game, and so they're getting good information from a lot of different guys on staff Coach Hagan is heading that up right now. But you got Coach Hagan from a pass standpoint. We're adding a graduate assistant here to the mix, and he's got his own technical stuff that he was really good at, and so it is. Long story short, it's a very good position. A lot of stuff, a lot of information that those guys are getting.
Are there areas of Jaden's game that you see as strengths that you want to maximize and get more out of?
Yeah. I think his strengths are definitely the fact that he's athletic. He can make plays. He can make plays from the pocket. He can extend plays. And at the end of the day, defensive coordinators have to deal with a lot with Jaden. It's not just that he can throw it from the pocket. He can run, take off. It can be designed runs, or it can just be, hey, a pass play breaks down and he's got to take off. And so what do you want to do as a defensive coordinator to defend him? And so he's very versatile, and he picks things up quickly. Putting a lot of pressure on defense.
And do you guys have goals of how much weight you maybe want him to add, or what kind of strength you want to see by the fall or by the summer, anything like that?
We have certain goals that we talk about, and with him, he last year came in at a certain weight, and he's continuing to build on that. And I know our strength coach, myself, the people around the office, his mom, they're all kind of in the mix, of talking to him and trying to get him to gain weight. But heck, I wish I had his metabolism. Holy cow, because he burns it quick.
With him being, a sophomore now, and a lot of younger players coming in, how much are you looking at him to step up leadership-wise?
With Jaden?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the position. Like, he's got to step up, and I think he's done a good job in the past. Obviously, I've got limited experience with him, in that. But being at the quarterback position, having the year he did last year, people are looking to him for answers, and he's got to push himself to know it, learn a new offense, and have answers for those guys when we're out on the field.